Hi folks, thanks for taking a look at the video. What I'm showing here is my Collins equipment that is for sale. We have a 30L1 winged amplifier which has 4 811As in it, US manufactured tubes, covers 80 through 10 meters and delivers approximately 600 to 700 watts out depending on the band and what power you're running it off of, whether it's 120 or 220. And currently it's set up for demonstration here on the 20 meter band. And also for sale is my 312B5 VFO, which is useful with the KWM2 or KWM2A transceiver to give you split operation. Gives you, a selection of either operating off of either VFO for transmit or receive, or one transmit, one receive. And also includes a watt meter, which has a 200 watt scale and a 2000 watt scale. And also included is a phone patch, which I have not tested since I don't have anything set up to do that, and it's not something that's used much anymore. And also has an internal speaker, which is in good shape. And I will demo both of these units in a second here. Okay, I'm going to fire up the power amplifier here and demonstrate its output. Currently we're running about 85 watts into it. The amplifier right now is in standby, and this is on 20 meters. So now I will turn the amplifier on, and we'll switch the range up to 2000 watt scale. And now we're showing about 650 watts output on the 20 meter amateur band for about 85 watts of drive. If you run this on 220 AC supply, you probably get closer to 700 watts out, maybe a little more for the same drive, because you get a higher B plus on the amplifier. Yeah, we're looking at the meter now of the 30L1, and the amplifier is turned on, but we're not transmitting. So we're transmitting right now. So B plus runs about 1.4 kV, shows about 1.7 kV on transmitting. Plate current shows about just a little over 0.6 amps, which is normal. Again, if you run the amplifier in 220, you'll have higher B plus, you have a little higher plate current, and definitely higher output power for the same input power. Now, what I'd like to focus on now is the VFO portion of the Collins 312B5 remote VFO. The VFO output RF frequency is actually 2.5 megacycles up to 2.7 megacycles. Right now the dial is indicating 100, and that's in the middle of the tuning range, and you can see the counter up there is showing 2.6 and about 90 cycles. Now if we go down to the other end of the scale, this is at showing 200, and you can see it's about within about 180 cycles of being still lined up on the same calibration mark that's been adjusted at 100. And if we go to the other end, they were showing about 1 kilohertz off the calibration mark, but well within its calibration specifications for this VFO. And it'll shows the tracking is very good from one end to the other. Stability wise, you turn it on, give it 30 minutes, and it settles down and you won't have to touch it. I've had it on here for days, sitting at 2.6 megacycles, and it hardly moves more than a few hertz. Okay folks, I've taken the camera off the tripod, so please excuse any little shakiness from my hand, but just give a little overview of the sides and the top of the equipment. The 3001 cabinet, even the top, is no scratches, dents, no missing paint, no chips or anything else. The front panel is in really nice shape. There is one little chip in the trim ring right down here. A little touch-up paint would make that disappear if it bothered anybody. Other than that, it's pretty good. There's no wear marks around the controls, no lettering that's worn away or anything like that. Really in pretty nice shape. The other side of it is clean also. Looking at the 312B5 VFO, side of the case here is clean. There's no chips or dents or anything. Same goes for the top. That's in really nice shape. The front face is really nice. There's no wear marks at all. There's no chips, scratches, or any blemishes there. And the only blemish on the cabinet is on this side. There is a scrape, a scratch right there, and there is an abrasion right here. It looks like part of it may have been attempted touch up on top, but then not down the bottom of that. So depending on how you put this up on your operating shelf, you'd probably never see it because other equipment would be next to it. But just in the interest of knowing what you're getting, it does have this mark on the right side of the cabinet, which wouldn't bother me, but as long as it's not on the front, I'm generally happy. So that's the overall view of this equipment. It is for sale. I plan on having it at the Sussex Hamfest this coming Sunday in Augusta, New Jersey, and I will sell each piece individually, and I will sell them as a package for a slightly better price. I would ship the 312B5 VFO, and a little reluctant to ship the 3001. I would rather deliver it and meet somebody in person to exchange that, just because of its weight and what UPS and FedEx likes to do to heavy things. So I'd hate to see anything happen to it. So if you're looking for Collins gear to match up to your KWM2, this is your opportunity to have the remote VFO and bump the power up into the 600-700 watt range. And I've had that same combination, and it's really nice to have. So if you're interested, get in touch with me.